Hello everyone! Boat ramps are back on the menu, where dry trucks become wet regrets, and I've got it from here is basically a countdown to disaster. From trailers staging midnight escapes to captains discovering that confidence doesn't float, today's compilation is pure ramp carnage at its finest. Lake Guntersville at sunrise should have been a beautiful morning on the water. Instead, an icy ramp, a little too much throttle, and suddenly the truck, trailer, and boat are all headed straight for the bottom. Driver got out just in time, but the boat wasn't so lucky. Still strapped to the trailer, had to cut it loose before it pulled everything under with it. Half the dock crowd just standing there watching the bubbles rise while the sky turned orange behind them. Some mornings, the lake wins before the fishing even starts. Docking should be calm and controlled, but timing matters. As the boat drifts in, she tries to step onto the dock a little too early. The gap shifts, balance disappears, and instead of a clean step, it's straight into the water. No injuries, just a soaked moment and a quick reminder. Boats don't stop on command and the dock isn't going anywhere. Secure the boat first, then step off. Mexico boat ramp. They trusted the tide, left the truck a little too far down, and the ocean made its move while nobody was paying attention. 1 minute it's a normal fishing trip. The next, the Tacoma is fully submerged and everyone on shore is just watching it happen in real time. The water was crystal clear though. You could see every bad decision they made sitting right there on the bottom. Someone in the background still giving instructions like that's going to help at this point. For sale, Tacoma, low nautical miles, fresh ocean wash, one careful owner who clearly wasn't careful enough. At some ramps, drivers ease into the water. And then there's this guy who committed like he was parking at the bottom. The vehicle rolls down past the safe zone, past the tires, and straight into full submersion, sitting there like it belongs on an underwater auction listing. You can almost picture the insurance paperwork writing itself as the car slowly becomes one with the lake. One wrong calculation, one slippery ramp, and now the resale value comes with a lightly drowned description. Drove it off the lot, made the first payment, and headed straight to the ramp without a single lesson in between. Trailer not far enough in, guide poles doing nothing useful, and a throttle that's getting a real workout for absolutely zero results. Bump after bump, swing after swing. The dock took more hits than a punching bag. His wife backed it in perfectly, and then he told her to go further. That was the moment everything went wrong. Divorce attorneys should set up a table at this ramp and just hand out business cards. Some days, the boat wins, the ramp wins. Boat ramps aren't parking spots, but this driver treated it like one while heading out to his mooring on an incoming tide. The water kept rising, the truck kept sinking, and somehow no one seemed in a hurry. A simple launch turned into a slow-motion lesson in timing, tide awareness, and why ramps are for loading, not leaving unattended. One bad decision, one rising river, and a truck learning the hard way who really controls the ramp. Boat ramps, where common sense goes to sink. Trucks slide in like submarines. Boats drift off on their own. And the crowd, they're just filming with a cold drink in hand. No help, no shame, just pure ramp chaos. One wrong move and suddenly it's for sale. Clean title, no accidents. A little splash, a lot of regret, and insurance adjusters already sweating. They call it an oops. The water calls it a down payment. Trailer backed so far into the water you couldn't see it. And that right there was problem number one. When the bunks are fully submerged, the boat just floats right over them and does whatever it wants, which is exactly what happened here. Attempt after attempt, throttle after throttle, prop churning up everything except progress. A beautiful boat, a patient crowd, and one man absolutely convinced that more throttle was the answer. It was not the answer. Pull the trailer up, line it up straight, and walk it on if you have to. There's no shame in it. But going full throttle into a submerged trailer for 20 minutes in front of everyone? That's a different story altogether. This launch goes wrong before it even starts. The trailer stops short, the bow strap comes off too early, and the safety chain never gets a second thought. Gravity does the rest. Instead of sliding smoothly into the water, the boat drops straight onto dry concrete and stays there. No splash, no float, just fiberglass meeting reality. Now the boat's launched, technically, just not where it belongs. A simple checklist, one extra second of patience, and this entire moment never happens. Big boat, small tow setup, and confidence doing all the heavy lifting. Somehow, it made it all the way to the ramp, and that's exactly where physics stepped in. Turns out weight limits aren't suggestions, they're warnings. Classic boat ramp moment. Everything's going wrong, and the only thing working perfectly is the camera. While the boat drifts and the situation gets worse, the filmer never hesitates. No ropes, no help, just steady hands and great framing. Sometimes the real MVP isn't the rescue, it's the footage. The boat's called Wine Time, and judging by this performance, someone had already started early. Captain loses control at the dock, whiskey throttle kicks in, and somehow the anchor gets deployed in the middle of the whole disaster. One move, wreck the boat, scare the passengers, and drop anchor all at once. The name on the hull said Wine Time. The driving said something a lot stronger than wine. Lay off the throttle, mate, and maybe the bottle too. Seven in the morning, Lake Fork, and this man pulled up to the ramp with a boombox bigger than his tackle box and absolutely zero apologies. Dancing on the seat, music rattling the whole dock, ready to find the fish, or at least scare them all away first. Boat ramp launches are usually reserved for boats, but this Mustang clearly didn't get the memo. Somehow, it slid its way down the ramp and ended up nose-deep in the water, looking more like a submarine than a sports car. And in the middle of the chaos, the windshield wipers are still going. Like that's gonna solve anything. When your boat decides to take off without you, and suddenly you're the star of your own survival documentary. This guy's boat drifted away, and instead of just swimming like a normal human, he decided to balance on a cooler and frog kick his way across like it's Navy SEAL boot camp. The cooler held, the boat waited, and his dignity? Already at the bottom of the lake. Just filming trucks at the boat ramp until someone shut the engine off and forgot the parking brake. The truck rolled straight into the water, 26 feet down, with Bucky the dog still in the back. They got the pup out safe, but the truck? Insurance claimed it, wheels got sold, and all that's left is a lesson about parking brakes and gravity. Anyone can back a boat down a ramp with a truck, but these two gentlemen did it with a horse and buggy at 4 in the morning just to be on the water by 8. 6 hours of travel on wooden wheels just to go fishing. That's not a boat launch. That's dedication. Pure, unmatched, hats-off dedication. Sometimes innovation meets reality at the boat ramp. This jet ski rolled in looking confident, but one wrong angle and the ramp pushed back. What was supposed to be a smooth launch turned into smoke, sliding concrete, and a reminder that wheels don't make you invincible. A bold idea, a rough landing, and proof that boat ramps don't care how cool your setup looks. They only reward precision. Nothing sends a truck swimming faster than forgetting one simple step. This driver had everything lined up, boat ready, ramp clear, but left the truck in neutral instead of park. Gravity took over, and the whole setup started rolling like it had a mind of its own. By the time reality kicked in, the truck was already sinking, turning a routine launch into a slow-motion lesson on why brakes and double checks matter at the ramp. When you forget to strap the boat, gravity does the rest. One Chevy, one trailer, and one very expensive oops. The boat didn't make it home, but the story definitely did. This launch didn't need more power. It needed a simpler plan. Instead of using the ramp or easing the boat to the dock, everything turned into unnecessary chaos. Twin engines, plenty of control, and still the hardest possible option was chosen. Sometimes the problem isn't the boat. It's overthinking something that should have been easy. Well, turns out this truck wanted to go boating too, and nobody told it trucks don't float. 1 second it's backing down the ramp. Next thing you know, the whole front end takes a full dive like it's entering a fishing tournament. This is what happens when the boat outweighs the truck meant to control it. A massive hull, a light tow vehicle, and a setup that was never meant for the job. Power isn't the issue here. Balance, braking, and proper equipment are. Because when the load is bigger than the plan, the road always wins. Zero throttle control, going straight and sideways at the same time, hitting a docked boat and just plowing off like nothing happened. Boating while intoxicated on a closed body of water. Where exactly did he think he was going? The lake always collects its evidence. Car takes a scenic route straight into the water while a dozen people stand around and one guy actually does the work. Driver's stuck inside, door won't budge, and somehow opening a submerged car door is harder than expected. One hero pulling, everyone else just observing the chaos unfold in real time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're new and click one of the videos on screen for more chaos. See you at the next one. Goodbye.